Right, I think we are live. Let me just bring my... yes, we are live. Congratulations to me. I could just enable the comments, I could see it, and then we'll be able to have a conversation. I know this is a short notice, but I didn't really plan on having a live stream today, but I thought I have this nice box in here. It's worth opening and building it while I'm streaming. So that is the plan. Hello Collins, is that even running? Should be running. Why it's not started? It started on the live stream, but I think my YouTube application actually have a bit of a lag. And oh yeah, it's running, that's fine. So, if you join me online, just say hi, and we're gonna talk about mBot Ranger and a couple of other things, because why the heck not? So this is a MakeBlock proposition that is 3-in-1 educational robot kit, which has tracks and a couple of sensors and that little thing that presumably moves the robot around. We're gonna check it out. It costs $179 right now, and we'll see if it's worth it. It's apparently 10 plus in terms of age, but I'm sure if you have a parental guidance, you'll be able to assemble it with your kids. So yeah, let's go to... So this is the robot in question. It looks pretty cute. We have 2 tracks, a couple of wheels to drive it, a couple of sensors, everything. And I haven't opened it yet. Everything is just ready to be built. We'll see how long it's gonna take. Don't know how long it's gonna take. Probably, I say maybe half an hour if I'm gonna follow instructions, and maybe half that time half an hour if I don't follow instructions, and half that time if I will follow the instructions. So that's definitely something that we're gonna consider. But it looks relatively simple, so we might try it without instructions. Robots are fun, especially the one that go over obstacles, and that looks like it could go over random obstacles. It's not my first tracked robot, I have a couple of them, but it's definitely the latest one. I'm gonna obviously post a review of the kit after that, probably in a couple of weeks, once I had enough time to play, and let you know whether you should even be bothered with it. So that is the plan. Let's make sure everything is in focus, and let's get started. So, hello Khalid, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. It's actually started to rain in here, but we had a good weekend, so I'm not going to complain. So this is the robot itself. We have a self-balancing option, apparently. We have this thing, which has like a 3-wheel robot. Dashing Raptor it's called. It's called Nervous Bird, and this is a Land Raider. Obviously this is kind of the most assembled one with the biggest parts, and this is kind of the smallest one. I've actually never built a self-balancing robot, so there's something we're going to be considering. But first, let's start to take stuff out from the kit and see where that's going to get us. So the robot is really nicely presented and packed. I wish that wasn't plastic but a paper. That would be much nicer from the environmental standpoint. We have instructions. We have a track. This is a track. I can see already it's a track for the... So we're not going to need that. We'll see if we're going to need instructions. And we have a couple of bags of stuff. So those are like wheels / cogs. We have some sensors which use actually RJ11 connectors, so those are telephone connectors. That's interesting. We have a battery case. Do I have enough batteries? That's the question. We have tracks which are made from rubber. They actually look pretty solid to me, so that's nice. Because it's good to have good tracks, right? We have another sensor, same connector. We have some tools included, but we're going to be probably using my super extra powerful tool. And we have some aluminum corner blocks and structural elements, and we have lots of screws. So that is what was in the box. Let's build up our space and see where that gets us. So I'm going to take the elements out of here. This is heavy, I don't know what that is. Some aluminium profiles. Tires, because we have a tire options, and the main board that actually drives this thing. It's actually pretty interesting. It has a lot of inputs in here. It has all the brains and everything. Looks like maybe Arduino. It's called MakeBlock Me Arya. I think that's what it's called. So let's open it up. It's enclosed in an acrylic case, which looks pretty solid. Actually, this is quite interesting board because I don't know what is it based off yet. I didn't read it. We can pick in the instructions, but it looks interesting. There is this small button. There's a button and no pixel ring and a couple of other things. Some LEDs. We'll see. The form factor looks slightly a little bit like maybe something from Arduino, but those are my first impressions. And as I already said, these controllers, they have actually those old telephone sockets in here, so you can connect stuff easier, which feels like a quite ready product. We're not going to need this. Right, so that's for the main board. Now let's take out components. So this is the typical ultrasonic sensor. Again, the probably only different thing is that it has this connector to connect everything. However, like looking at all the ICs on it, it looks pretty evolved. The additional three rings that are conductive. So I think maybe, let's see. I don't see traces on them. But if you want to connect this sensor without the controller, without the socket, sorry, then you have 3 pins in here that you can latch into it and use the jumper cables. So it's the same deal with this. So these are, I think those are just the mounting positions. This doesn't look like it's connected to anything. Yeah, same deal. You have a breakout board in here, so you can connect them directly using wires, but there's a big connector that you can use to assemble it. Nice. What else? There's a battery compartment that looks like AA batteries. And we have 6 of them, right? Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 6. Yeah, 6 batteries that we will use to run. We have in here a bunch of cogs, probably for different robot scenarios. And some roller, that's the roller for the 3-wheel robot. So let's get them out. We have the 2 big ones, 2 medium ones, and 4 kind of without wheels. So those are our wheel options. Obviously we have the tires that's going to go on these big ones unless you use the thread. We have threads, we can get them ready. Hello Arya, you right? Why do you have so many nice toys? Because I ask nicely. I don't know why do I have so many nice toys, honestly I don't. For some reason people like me. People like me talking about toys. Some USB cables, there's a couple of JST connectors and those connectors for the sensors. So that's going to be handy. We have this universal screwdriver that has a screwdriver on one side and Allen key on the other side. That might be useful maybe. It's okay, I'm not going to use it. And the USB cable. Let's get the roller out for if we're going to go. I think I'm going to assemble the tracked robot because it's the biggest one and that's going to be looking the best. And I'm definitely going to play with the self-balancing ones just to see if it's fun. And we have some corner brackets and structural brackets. So these are aluminium parts. Yeah, that's all aluminium. Beautifully anodized blue, which I like. Here we had something heavy, but I don't know what that is. Let's have a look. Motors, obviously. There were no motors anywhere. Those are motors. They are geared motors. That looks alright. Plenty of mounting points as well. Okay. I'm just throwing stuff on the floor because this is where it belongs. And also we have a lot of different screws. Another multi-tool that we're probably not going to use. I don't know, some spacers, some more screws. We're gonna get to it when it's needed. I'm not going to unpack them because, yeah. So if we're going to go for this robot, we probably have to decide how many of these items we're going to use, because something tells me we're not going to use all of them. So let's make our selection match what we're building, right? And for that, I'm just going to have a quick instructions. Look at that. So do we have any information about what is the main board based on? It's in multiple languages, which is nice. Although the multiple languages are on the same page, which means it's difficult to read that. I prefer when they have different languages in blocks. But it's okay, it's fine, I can do it. Self-balancing robot, where's my ranger? This is the ranger. Okay, if you want to drive over the rough terrain, which we're gonna maybe do at some point for testing, you probably want to remove the line following sensor, which is this one. But we're gonna put it on for the purpose of everything. So, okay, so this is instructions of things what we need. Batteries are not included. I'm trying to find information about the board. Ooh, there's like a Wi-Fi ESP in a corner, which I couldn't see it with hidden. Yeah, I can see it. This is ESP Bluetooth module, maybe ESP module. I don't know. It's just a Bluetooth only. We'll find it out. Does it say anything? Auriga. What are you? What are you based? I would have to probably open this up and see if I can get to the bottom of it. I'll do it for you guys because you are nice, right? Although I'll be very gentle because since I want to review this, I probably don't want to destroy this. So it uses clips. It uses tough clips, as it turns out, to keep the case on. Alright. Can I now remove this? I can remove this beautiful light sensing element to get to the bottom of it, and this is AT-Mega 2560, so it is Arduino, and you have also stuff exposed in here. I'll show you. Look at this. So you have, even though you have those fancy connectors in here, you have all the GPIOs kind of laid down. I don't think this is the original layout for it. Looks like a slimmed down layout for the Arduino, but yeah, you have all the pins if you would like to take over control and add some other stuff. So that's promising. That's nice. And this is, can we see what this is? Not without deleting it. It looks like ESP, maybe, like, judging from the form factor, looks like ESP32. That would explain the Bluetooth, but because it only has a Bluetooth, I don't see any Wi-Fi information. I don't know at this point, so I'm probably gonna do some investigation later on in my review, and we'll find out what is going on with this. Okay, and there is some RF, I think, because that looks like it has an additional antenna in here, or it's just a... Is it antenna or just a print? Maybe just a print. Don't know if it has RF. Anyway, anyhow, let's get back to the build. We know what that is now, so we can actually put this light module back where it belongs and start building this robot. Nice. Okay, I like the cover. I like this cover because makes the robot a little bit more robust, and the kid's not going to step on it. Maybe they will step on it, but they're not going to destroy it so easily. So that is the plan. Okay, so looking at the instructions, what bits do we need actually to assemble this? Yes, I know we're gonna need batteries, but in order to assemble the tracked robot, we're going to need... something tells me I will be looking at the instructions. Okay, since we're looking at the instructions, I'll put the instructions on the side, and yeah, let's refocus this. And we're gonna do it this way. Okay, so the first step is to use those wiggly ones, flat ones, to mount the the DC motors, and you mount them using screws which are M48, and you mount them kind of like this, I think. Yeah? Or do they stick out? They stick out, so you mount them like this. Okay. Let's go M48. Those are M48s. I can recognize that these are M48s, and let's get them out. Put them here, start building. We need a screwdriver at this point. Gonna use my fancy screwdriver. Do we have M4? Come on. Oh, that's big enough, I think. That's big enough. Please be big enough. Yes, it's big enough. Okay. Cool. Right. So you take this, you take this, which this is symmetrical, and you put them through the last. Like that. That reminds me of my work. That's why I do at work, basically. I look at instructions and build robots. Right, cool. Nice, okay. We probably want, because it's a symmetrical robot, we probably want to do exactly the same thing with the second one. I'll mark my words, and some points I've said like, no, that wasn't the case, I had to do something else. And if you watch my live streams, you know it goes wrong at some point. It goes horribly wrong, and so hopefully it won't. Okay, so we have this, and that's going to be on the inside. It's like that, and then we are using first these ones to create a kind of like a stability bit. So it's a structural bit that goes in here, like that. And that's using the same screws. That's gonna be a piece of cake. I like this, actually. This is all machined, no plastic bits. Everything is out of metal and seems to be nicely threaded. So that's gonna be interesting process build. A little bit of friction on these, probably because of anodizing. Nothing too bad, it's just it takes a moment, and it takes a bit of more friction than the screwdriver is able to provide. Oh, torque. Okay. Hey, why this is not? Why we run out into, and we running into a first prop. Oh, okay. See, I told you I'm gonna make some mistakes. I should have been using this one and drive two of them together like this, which I didn't, which would give me a spacing needed to do it properly. So that's on me. Told you I'm gonna be making mistakes, because why not? So let's do it properly. And let's use this. And at this point, I think we're gonna be using longer screws for that, M410s, which are these. M410 are these, yeah. Okay. You must be rich, so many robots. No, I'm just busy. I do a lot of articles, and people like to read my articles, and lots of companies want to work with me. Trust me, it's easier to buy stuff than get stuff for review, because I'm gonna spend several hours going through everything and making sure I know what I'm talking about and writing a review. And if you just want to build a kit, then it's so much easier to do a couple of hours of overtime, earn the money, buy a kit, and then you don't have obligation towards someone else. So I always say the amount of time I spend on not enough tech, if I calculate this into an hours, I would be earning probably like $3 an hour or something silly. Come on. I probably drove the screw from the other side already, that's why I have a bit of friction. I don't want to over torque my screwdriver. I'm very conscious of this because I already destroyed one of screwdrivers like this. So for now, I'll just leave it on, and I'll add a little bit more torque with a manual screw. Oh, there's a manual. I can torque it. I can torque it with this one. Yeah, look, so easy when you're not afraid of breaking stuff. I should have done that straight away. I want it to be fancy. And the same thing from the other side. So where's not this one, where's this one, that's what I'm looking for. So now, in theory, they shouldn't be touching each other. If that's the case, it's better now. Those extra millimeters were crucial. So I'm just going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. my bits flying off. And yeah, so how was your weekend, guys? Are you working on something? Working on my Tasker tutorial. Oh, I've got something. I have a lot of things to do. I wish I could talk about stuff I have to do first. But yeah, there's gonna be there's gonna be new stuff coming this summer, which I can't say I'm super excited about, but I am super excited about. Yeah, there's some channel changing opportunities this year, and we'll see if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. So now we have this. What we have to do now that we have this is add another one here, and that's going to be like that, like that, maybe. I think it's like that. Yes. No, this looks like it's like perpendicular to the bottom, so it's somewhere like this, which I think is the case. So now I'm just going to align this, and I'm using M8s because they are single bits to screw in. Easy peasy, right? So yeah, working with aluminum extrusion pieces is fun because it does remind me of my work, to be honest, but everything feels so structurally sound and some rigid, and you know, feels like you're gonna have so much better time. So this screw, it's definitely having a bit of a torque issue. It's a lot of friction on it, but yeah, okay. That's what anodizing gets you. Usually when you get anodized parts, you end up rethreading stuff anyway to make it nice. Depending on the process as well, because different anodizing processes will affect the material and clearances in a different way. So you have to think about it when you're making it. But it wouldn't be the first time I have to rethread something. So yeah. Oh, this is not going anywhere. Look at that. That rigidity is good for... Rigidity is always good for a robot. That's something I can tell you straight away. Now, I should use 62 teeth, which is this one. 62 teeth are going here. They are keyed. So let's find the proper key. Yeah, I hope those are 62. Cool. So, and they have also screws to keep them in place, which is nice actually. I like this. It looks like these are the screws, the tiny ones. So let's grab 2 of them and drive them in. And for that I need a screwdriver bit, which is a Phillips. That should be. And they won't go anywhere. I wonder how fast this robot is actually going to be. My other one was really slow and not very powerful, but it was heavy. This, it has some weight to it, but obviously it's down to the gearing, down to the motors. Nice. All right. Please make a website and sell your projects to last engineering students. That would be if you start considering the taxes and everything. Oh, that's a mess, honestly. Even if I would resell this at 50% of the price, after shipping and taxes would be exactly the same price. Usually what I do with the robots, if I'm done with them, I donate them to people at their local hackspace. So if they have kids and family and stuff like that, they can play about and you know, have a good time. And I think that's a good use of these projects when I'm actually done with them, and I feel that someone is having a good time with them. So now we have to add these wheels, which have 2 of those We have 2 of these, so we're gonna have like a mini bearing, friction-based bearing actually. So those are just the rollers, right? This is like, I don't know, PTFE. No, this is not PTFE. Some plastic, and we have some spacers that we have to use, and some metal bushings. We need 4 of them in total, and it looks like there's some nuts, lock nuts, to keep everything in place. So let's do that. I can't access this. Come on. So we need 4 of those, 2 of these, and we need some nuts, which are probably gonna be the big ones here, right? Looks like M2.512 here, and here we have M425. That looks like M425 to me. And we need nylon nuts, which are included here. We're gonna need 2 nuts, even though I took 4 screws. And we're gonna do this. So we have 2 bushing that goes inside and create a small bearing. Then we have a spacer, and then we have a thin bolt that goes through it, and that goes through a hole which is here. This is the hole, and from that side we're gonna have a nylon nut. Alright, I'm just going to get some thread running. Come on. And tighten it in a moment. And the same, we're gonna create small bearing, put the screw bolt through, not screw bolt through, and then put it to the middle one and secure it with a nylon nut. You guessed it. Congratulations, guys. You could do it yourself. You don't need me for this. Right, now there was a small tool I could use to hold the nuts in place, which I can do, and use that screwdriver, not the fancy one. That is actually pretty good. Thought it's gonna be more friction than that, but apparently those metal bushings are working pretty well. That's good enough. Okay. Right, so we have that. What is the next step? We're probably halfway there looking at this. We're gonna be doing the big wheels now. It doesn't actually use the big wheels. Those big wheels are for the other robots, so we can put them aside. It uses these wheels that go here. So by the sound of it, we're doing exactly the same thing. So we're gonna need another 2 spacers. Great. More bushings, which are here. And more screws, which are here. Okay. Easy peasy, right? 2 of these, 1 of these, a spacer, and it can go to a last one, which is here. And also we're gonna need a nylon nut, or 2 of them to be precise. So this robot is actually pretty nice to assemble. I find this very relaxing, I have to say. It's easy, steps are well explained. Kids shouldn't have any problem with it. So if I don't have a problem with it, kids should have a problem with it. Repeat the steps. Aim for the top hole. Put the nylon. The only thing is that the bags with screws aren't labeled, so if you don't know which screw is which, then that could improve. If you're going to do this with kids, kids probably won't recognize the bolt sizes just by looking at it. Most of people don't recognize bolt sizes just by looking at it. If you deal with a lots of bolts, then you look at the bolt and you know exactly what a bolt is. Okay, that is nice. Then what we have that cross bit, which is this one. And that cross bit, it uses some sort of base from here, like this, and that uses last 2 like this. Okay. And we should be using these, but I don't have any thread. No, there is a thread. It's fine. I'm blind. I didn't notice there was a thread in there. Come on. It's my screwdriver. It's my screwdriver. There's my bit. There's my bit. One. Okay, and the second one, the M48. And that's our sliding in base for the battery. And now we can just remove and add the base, which is, I guess, that's very convenient. Okay. You can add the batteries at this time, but since I don't have the batteries at this time, do I? I'll have a look in a second. Oh no, I have some batteries. I see it. I found some batteries. Okay, let's do this. So we have one battery, and we have a second battery, and we have the third battery, and we have the one after third, and then we have the one after third, and we have the last one. Okay, so we have a battery. So we're following instructions. That's pretty good. So that has a bit of weight to it. And now it says that we should be using stand-ups, which are here, brass stand-ups. And those are being screwed from the bottom through these, from the bottom and here. That's how it works. So let's do this. So we're going to place that here. We're going to align it, put it in here. And then what is the screw? Probably 14. 14. You say 14. M414. Do we have M414? I haven't seen that. This is too small. This is too big. This is not 14. This is 25. Ah! There, in front of me. Perfect. So they go like these. And that's going to be a raised platform to keep our board on top of it. See? That is super easy. Come on. Nice. For now, just finger tight. Here's my cable, by the way. Is my cable correct direction? The cable's long enough, should be fine. I always say it should be fine, and then I have to strip down half of the robot because like it wasn't fine. And then you guys have something to laugh about, because that's how it works. So, how long is the live stream so far? Half an hour maybe? Yeah, around half an hour. And we're finishing it. I think another 10 minutes and we'll be there. So, we have these mounted. And then we're using this T-piece. Nice facing front like that. Great, and we're using some plastic washers. Oh no, just regular nuts. They look like plastic washers on it. Those are just the regular nuts. So, and I'm looking at the nylon nuts for some reason. I should be using the regular nuts. 4 of them to secure this bit in place. Come on. You can do it. Yes, one. See, this is a little robot. That's what happens. I wonder how fast it's gonna be and how strong. Oh, I have no dexterity in my fingers right now for some reason. Where's the last one? Okay. I'm just gonna make them finger tight, that's enough. Doesn't move anywhere. I have strong fingers without dexterity. Okay, so now we need this, and we need a corner piece, and we need to do the following. Use the corner piece and use our line sensor, which goes somewhere like here, using the last. And then, since these are using M for 8mm, so they just go here. Does it matter of the direction of that? Because I'm doing this other way around. In case the cutout matters, I'm just going to flip it to correct dimensions since I'm following the instructions. Okay. Cool. Now we are using this to put it in here and use the second and use the longer screws because we're going to be using this corner piece that goes through it like that. So those were these ones. That's going to be a little bit finicky, but I'm sure I can do it. One, and that's gonna keep it really neatly. I really like the sturdiness of this robot. I know I said that, but this is like really, really bulletproof right now. Right, so we have this, and the next step is to add the front ultrasonic sensor, which is here. And that it's going to be attached to here, right? Yeah, and that uses just is it 8mm pieces and not 8mm pieces and nylon nut, not normal nut. We can do that. So that's what is happening here. One, and I think we're going to have some screws left over, which is nice. I like when there are screws left over. Okay, we have this. Let's give it a proper, a bit better attachment so it doesn't wobble. Nice. And we are, I think, ready to put the main board on top of it, which is, yes, it tells us that we're going to have to use these cables. Where do they go? Can you tell us? Ah, to the motors. Those are motor cables. Okay. So we have 3 of them, just in case. And the small plugs go here. Second cable. So to mind the orientation so I don't bend the pins, but they can only go one way. Nice. And they're gonna go like, I'm gonna wrap them quick up so they don't drag at the bottom. And they can go like here or something. No, they won't be long enough. So for now, I'm just gonna lead them through up so they don't get caught by anything at the bottom. Okay. So we have this, and then we have to take our motor board and controller board and put it on top. Now, it says that the controller should be facing this direction, so this is good. And we're probably going to be using some of these screws to mount them. like this. Okay, so what they're using, these screws are just, they should be threaded because we're using M. Are they threaded? Yeah, they're 2 threaded bolts, that's fine. So there's one here. And we're nearly there, guys. In a second we'll be able to pop the tracks on and take it for a spin. Now this one has a bit of a friction. Now the motor connects through front, so I'm just going to lead it this way. And plonk it where it belongs. Is that the correct orientation? Yes. Okay. And so we're gonna do the same for this. Gonna lead it through here and plonk it in the front. And using correct orientation, obviously. Right, that's in like Flynn. Now we'll have to use the sensor cables to connect the sensors, and the sensors should be connected to port number this 10 and 9 apparently. So the same length cables? Yes. So it doesn't matter what they. It's one here, one here, right? And the 10 goes to the sensors on the sensor, ultrasonic sensor, and that goes somewhere underneath it to connect to our sensor at the bottom, the line following sensor. Ta-da! And the last cable currently to connect is the power cable. However, we still have to put some tracks on, so let's give this robot some tracks. Don't know how hard it's gonna be to put the tracks on. I never tried that. My previous robot came with tracks assembled. It's not that difficult. I just need to make sure that everything is in place. Okay. That is one track. There's the second track. Look, I have a track. Okay. Hope the truck's in the right direction. Yeah, they are in the right direction. Okay, now we can plug in the power and hope for the best, guys. Can I route it here? Yeah, it's gonna be enough. So I can route the power underneath here to shorten the cable. Make sure the cable doesn't really snag anywhere. Come on, you can go through it. Right, and then just connect it here. Okay, let's clear out the space a little bit. I don't know if there's any firmware programmed on it, but we have the robot, right? Ta-da! Take a look at this. Hello, I'm your robot. I'll be driving here. Good evening. This is engineering plastic. Who said plastic parts? They're rubber. Okay, the wheels are plastic, but this is aluminium chassis. This is a proper thing. Okay, where is the power? This is the power. We have some lights. We have a blue light. Blue light is always good. There's a green light, which is also good. There are some red lights in here. There's like, oh, you can enable and disable the ultrasonic sensor with this. You can see this. So yeah, let's keep it enabled. Restart button. It makes noises at me. I guess at this point, since this is Bluetooth, I should be looking at an app or something. Is there anything we can do to make it like just go? I'll just restart it. Okay, it doesn't do anything, so it doesn't have anything programmed. I will take my mobile phone and I will see if there is an app that we can use to program this. I mean program, to kind of just take it for a spin. That's what I want. I want to take it for a spin. There's a sound sensor, guys, in here. No? There's a temperature sensor on here. There's a gyro. Ultrasonic. Battery information. Okay. Right, I don't have anything in here. Well, let's go to end of it and see if we have an app for it. Control with an app. Okay, we have instructions. We have an app. Let's see what kind of app we have with this. Go to website. It's on qq.com website. We know where that belongs to, right? I will trust that it is what it says it is. I might be naive, but I'll do it for you. The file might be harmful. That's okay. Yes. Okay. There was a problem parsing. It wasn't downloaded yet. Settings. Let's allow installation from the source. Yes, I'll be fine. It's not like they're gonna hack me or anything, right? Okay. Install the app. The app is called this thing. The version of the app in English, I hope. Okay, I agree, I guess. That is not the app. What did they give me to install? Don't send me the... That is some crap. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of this. Because that was not it. We can go and actually search for MakeBlock in Google Store. There you go, look at that. So what did I install? And let's get rid of that, just in case. While it's installing, now look for my newly acquired weird app. Which is supposed to be somewhere here, but I can't find it. Okay, I've killed it. Right, it's fine. I'll delete it later. I'm sure gonna regret it. Okay, we have a MakeBlock application. Alright, so we have select your device. We don't have a light. We don't have bot mega. We have mBot Ranger. That is our play. Okay, we'll play with the Ranger. You need to connect it via Bluetooth, so let's allow the Bluetooth. Close the robot. Bluetooth will only connect. Okay, looks like we connected automatically. Voice control, line following, avoid obstacle, racing car, nervous bird. What are we doing, guys? Let's do drive, like control drive. Ooh, yeah. Come on, we are driving. We are driving this thing. Look at that. Ooh. It makes beep noise. There's some lights I can enable. Okay. What is this? Okay, some presets. Is it really capable of climbing, actually? Let me show you. That is alright. It's just it's being stopped by the seal, but that is not bad. Let's get run over by a robot. Okay, so clearly the line sensor in here is a bomber. because it does prevent the robot from going all on the road. I can see it catching up on my watch and everything, but other than that, it will definitely drive over my hand without any problems. So it's actually pretty nippy. This I like this. Okay, can we do stuff like, can we do ultrasonic sensor? There's a musician, draw and run, voice control, line following, avoid obstacle. Okay, I will avoid obstacles. That means that I was gonna run into this wall and then cause problems. See? Ah! Okay, stop. Alright, so you can actually test it really quickly with this app, and I'm actually quite impressed. I'll show you the app real quick. Hope you can see this. Alright. So, depending on what you've built, you have a couple of just easy way to try it out and see what it can do, which I think they are quite adorable. It's, voice controls. Okay. Go forward. Hey! Okay, that works. That was cool. Musician. I don't know what that's gonna do, but we're gonna give it a go, right? Let's give you more space so that you can see what's happening. I don't play this. Okay, so this is just to use this. Line following we know, avoid racing car. Where's the racing car? Is that? Okay, so those are like add controls, so it's a maybe advanced remote control. We're gonna figure out at some point. And the other two are just for the different robot types, so that's it. So yeah, and then it looks like you can also code in here. So you can build instructions, create, expand, but you can code, and you can install mBlock blocky, and then you'll be able to write the code from the mobile directly. That's nice, actually. I like this. Okay, I got myself a new robot. It's pretty decent. I mean, honestly, I had like, at first I thought like $179 might be a bit, but considering the build quality and considering like right now what you can do with it off the cuff, it's definitely entertaining. And obviously it only gets better once you start programming it and do stuff with it. You can definitely use extra ports to do extra stuff. There's a Bluetooth, I don't know if there is a Wi-Fi, that's something I'll be reading on. But my impressions are pretty solid. It feels like, look, it doesn't make any sound. It feels sturdy. I could throw this from a height and I would survive. So, and with a bit of a waterproofing, you could even take it outside and drive it over difficult terrain. So, all right, MakeBlock. So far, I like what you see. Yes, I have 2 more robots to build at some point, and then we're gonna get back to reviewing it, and I'll tell you more what I thought about it. And that way, you'll know whether you should treat your friends or kids or family to a robot from MakeBlock. Right, the wheels for the other robot, I'm just going to put the tires on because otherwise I know I'm gonna lose them. I know myself. Right, we ended up with a lot of spare parts. It took us what, less than an hour to assemble and test, which is a good result. And yeah, we had no problems. So what not to like, guys? That's a pretty good Sunday if I had one, and we also have some parts left for all the stuff. So yeah, those are my first impressions. Obviously, those are first impressions. So right now, it's just the build impressions. I'll let you know in due time. Okay, thanks Ed I mean, technically, can we class this as a nice wheels? Nice trackies. So there's a lot of things that are coming. I don't know when, because I'm really behind with my schedule. There was a couple of things I was dealing with, which left me really not doing anything for the last 2 weeks. But there are some exciting opportunities ahead. I'll be working with Arduino again, which I'm super excited. I'm going to make us central, so if you're there, just make sure you bump into me and wave. And so those are 2 things I'm looking forward to. And I have fancy reviews coming up as well, and some home automation at some point. Nothing major, but I'm gonna talk about the changes in home automation soon, because unfortunately that's gonna happen too. Okay, right. Gonna wrap up because I have some writing to do, and hopefully, tomorrow's gonna be a video about a new action camera that I've been toying with. And what else do we have this week? I'm probably gonna finish my ARM video. And there were 2 reviews I was working on today, which I actually don't remember anymore. Oh, there was one was ambient TV LEDs, which came with a surprise, and the second one, Agara. I completely forgot. It's a blank mind. You've probably seen lots of people posting about this. And everyone's gonna get excited about this except me, which I have some words to say about this and why I think you should think twice before you buying one of these. So that's what's coming up this week. Right, I appreciate your company as always. It's always better to have a company for these, and yeah, thank you for joining me today. And I hope I'm gonna see you in comments and social interactions on my channel. So have a lovely evening on this wet and damp Sunday evening, and I'll see you around.